rare edition, a very special edition of the program Executive Brief on 88.1 FM, BCA Radio, Umwahia. It's also happening live on Flow 94.9 FM, Magic 102.9 FM, and Family Love 99.9 FM. Today, we shall take a look at some of the events that have been happening in the state. And of course, you all need to know, like you already know, that there will be time for questions and answers. The Honorable Commissioner will be here and is very much willing to respond to your questions, give insights, give updates about your questions and events happening in the state. It is no doubt that virtually everyone in Abia is happy at events happening in the state, the infrastructure going on and so forth. So to say, no one is left behind. This morning, we have with us in the studio the Honorable Commissioner for Information, Abia State, Prince KANU. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning to Maryland. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. We also have with us my colleague who will be anchoring with me on the program, Chukuma Emele. Good morning.
Good morning, Chinezerem. Honorable Commissioner, you're welcome.
Thank you, Ngige.
So
that's your alliance.
That's his AKA with his cap. Okay, so let's begin with the 2026 budget, Honorable Commissioner. The governor yesterday signed the 2026 appropriation bill of 1,16,228,072,661 naira 99 kobo for the 2026 fiscal year. Can you shed light on the appropriation bill?
Well, thank you very much. I guess that's the most latest development in the state.
Exactly.
And a very important one, signing that the budget, the highest so far in the history of the state, into law yesterday. That was a very important function that the governor performed yesterday, and I was privileged to be there with His Excellency when he appended his signature to the appropriation bill, making it a law now, so that budget will be in operation as the year, new year, commences. It's an important step in the life of this administration. The budget is 1.016 billion. Like I did say, is the highest so far by this state, and it's a very ambitious budget, and it's a pointer to the governance philosophy of His Excellency that is very forward-looking, very strategic, and one that is centered on infrastructural development and provision of social services to Ndabia. So that budget, when it comes into operation, is tagged as acceleration of accelerating new possibilities. That's what that budget is tagged. If you recall, the previous one was sustaining the momentum. That momentum has been sustained for 2 years now. We are going into the third year. So they're accelerating new possibilities. And if you look out there are so many possibilities. If you listen to His Excellency recently, he will tell you that like the Americans will say that Abians haven't seen anything yet. And some people keep asking me in their private conversation, they say, after doing so much, what else is he trying to do to say people haven't seen anything yet? But that's the truth. Quite a lot is going to happen. And with this budget, a lot will happen with regards to road construction. If you, the government has been consistent in allocating a whole lot of money to infrastructural development. For education is in 20% year on year. For health, I mean 15%. And for infrastructure, nothing less than 11% counting. So what this points to is that what Abians have seen in the past 2 years plus will even move to a higher pedestal in the new year. More roads will be constructed, more schools will be built, and more hospitals will be put in place. Already, Project Ekweme has the 200 hospitals have been renovated. So that's Ekweme 1.0. So we are going into Ekweme 2.0, and that is 200 more primary health centers to be renovated and retrofitted in the new year. Of course, Abia has 948 of them, And the governor has made a promise that before he leaves office, all 948 will be functional. So this budget is meant to drive that dream, to anchor, and consolidate on the infrastructural development that the governor has already begun with what is happening across the state in terms of road construction and renovation of primary health centers and public buildings across the state. You can see the new look the state is wearing, particularly the capital. You see the transformations going on. Roads are being expanded in the town, what we call junction improvements, and the bus terminals in Omahia in Aba. There's so many things that are going to happen. It can only get better in the new year with this new budget. Yeah, thank you.
Honorable Commissioner, sir. Recently, history was made in the state. The governor launched and rolled out the first batch of 20 Abia Green Shuttle electric buses for public transport under the state mass transit scheme.
Yeah.
Can you throw more light on this development, sir?
Yeah, well, that's another promise that was made and has been kept. Of course, I think that was on the 22nd or thereabout, and the governor formally, launched those buses. And we had on hand the president of World Trade Organization, our own dear big sister, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. She was on hand to, commission those buses. We've rolled out 20 buses at this onset, and like we have informed the public over the course of weeks, about 40 of those buses will be in the state in this new year, and it will be on an incremental, basis. As we go on, more will come. But I want to assure Abians that between now and before the end of next year, we'll have about 100 buses in the state, and that will ensure, that these buses operate round the state from Okwa East to Umundochi, from Arochukwu to the other far end of the state. So these 20 buses have been rolled out, and for now, we are offering free bus rides to Abians between Aba, Umuahia, and between Umuahia and Ahafia. So the buses have there's this incremental way that are being deployed. When we got started, the very first day, I think were just like two buses that were, okay, let me put it this way. Immediately the governor commissioned the buses. We took a bus ride. I was privileged to ride with him. We drove from Umuahia to Okwa West, where he commissioned an electricity project, and that was like test running the buses. Okay, we've been told before now that these buses are meant for intra-city.
And the governor gave Honorable Commissioner a free ride.
Right. Give everybody around, members of ESCO and some specially invited guests. So we took that ride, and the governor rode all the way from here. In fact, we did some runs, some drive through in the city. So when we left Umuahia, we headed to Okwa West, just running the buses to see how comfortable they are, and what felt comfortable. A lot of us, before we got to Ntia Junction, had slept off because of the comfort in the bus. And people were amazed seeing their governor, riding the bus, but that's the duty for you, governing from the front.
Oh, yeah.
So we got to Okwa and we got back, and that was just to signpost the idea that these buses, whether they are used for intra or intercity services, they are very rugged, they are well built, they are comfortable, and they have features, safety features. They have the fire extinguishers. They have cameras inside the bus. So if you're a pickpocket and you enter that bus and want to pickpocket, you'll be caught. And that the buses don't have much luggage compartment, so it's not meant for people who carry heavy luggage. But if you have a light knapsack on your back, you can ride the bus end to end, right? So that is what that thing speaks to. So we are bringing them out gradually, and by now we have about 15 of them from the original, from the first 20, we have 15 of them deployed across the state and are ferrying people across, free. The idea is to get Abians to test run these buses, see what these buses are doing. And of course, like the governor will always say, these buses belong to them. So let them have their own free ride, just like we had the other day. But that free ride will come to an end by the time, by sometime in the new year. But by then, these people would have tested what these buses are all about, free of charge. And by then, a few more infrastructural facilities would have been put in place so that the operations, the full operations of the bus services will commence. So that is a promise kept. That is a promise fulfilled. And the whole idea is to ensure we have a mass transit bus service that is safe, that is comfortable, that is affordable, and that is eco-friendly. You know, the electric buses, so no fossil fuel is being burnt. Okay, no gas emissions, nothing, just electricity. So once these buses, once their battery comes down, they go to where they install the charging stations, they get recharged and they move on. And the buses have a capacity to do up to 400 kilometers, before the next charge. So it's going to look so good for Abians in the new year. By then, the other 20 buses would have come in. And after the 20, we'll have another 20 and down the line. One key thing again about these buses is the fact that they are purpose-built. They are purpose-built for Abia State. And the buses have ramps for our unfortunate brothers and sisters who are disabled. So on their own, they can board these buses without really relying on anybody to help them. They can board these buses with the ramps that is installed in those buses. So it's a good one for the state, and that is part of the revolution His Excellency is carrying out in the transport sector. Thank you.
Beautiful, Honorable Commissioner. I'd like to ask, a few days ago, we understand that the governor restored electricity to 33 communities in Okwa West LGA after about 9 years of power outage in those communities. Is there hope for some other communities who do not have power? And I also think you will need to shed more light on this gesture by our governor.
Which one is your community, children?
Osisi Mango.
You enjoy more than enough. That's where you have geometric.
Yes.
So, like the brothers and sisters of the bridegroom, you people enjoy it.
Yes.
But having said that, if you follow the development trajectory of this government, you know that whatever His Excellency starts in one part of the state has a way of dovetailing, of cascading down to all other communities. So the issue of electricity, West, is not as if the governor prefers West over every other community in the state. No, but that thing happened for two major reasons. One is the fact that the AIP project is in Okwa West, and for you to successfully bet such a project, you have to put in place supporting infrastructure. So His Excellency decided to step up that electricity project to give power to all the adjoining communities to Owazade, who for some curious reason have not had life for quite a while. Of course, Okwa West is an oil producing area as well. So as the geese that lays the golden egg, they were giving that consideration, but that was not the major consideration. You can see that with the installation of geometric power in Aba and commencement of full services by them, the 9 LGAs in that space are being ring fenced, and what that means is that this power will be prioritized to those communities that are in that ring fence. That's the 9 LGAs, and this is going to happen down the line in other parts of the state. For instance, in the central Abia State Central Senatorial Zone and North, with the acquisition of EEDC by the state government, we've acquired 60% of the stake in EADC. So these other 8 LGAs will be ring-fenced. So if they are ring-fenced, what it means is that the excess power that will come from either here or from Aba will be redistributed across the state. And what that means that no part of the state will be left behind. So you can only get better for every part of the state. So the governor, in his wisdom and magnanimity, made that promise when we went there to commission a road there. And people complained. And of course, that project that is coming on there, you don't need to go and start putting a generator for that. If you ever use a generator, there could be a backup. But in this one, the government said no. Let's do some work for them. And they had these stations in place. So what happened that they were supplied extra transformers, and about 34 kilometers line of high tension wires were restored and all that. So that's what the governor did there. And today the people are happy, they have light, and it's going to happen that way across Abia State.
Okay, Honorable Commissioner, sir.
Yeah.
Abia recently emerged as the Southeast champion in the 2025 Primary Health Leadership Challenge. I want to know, what is the magic?
Well, simple answer. Just as simple as a piece of cake. The massive investments that His Excellency is making in the health sector. Abia is doing so well in the health sector. With the building of new general hospitals in the state, with the construction and emplacement of 3 referral centers in the state, with the renovation, retrofitting, and functionalization of 200 primary health care centers. All those that is the government is making investments in the health sector. And this is what gave Abia that position, that the government is investing so much in that in the health sector. We've stuck to the governor has stuck to the provision of 15% of the budget year on year to health sector. And you know what that means? Every year you're making massive investments, and what is happening now is we are beginning to see the outcomes of the governor's investments in the health sector. So Abia, out of the about 13 indices with which the states were judged, Abia excelled in 2. Abia was first in 2 and came maybe second, third, fourth, whatever on the others. So Abia emerged the number 1 in the southeast and amongst the first 6, nationally. So what that means is that the Commissioner for Health has made a promise that following the trajectory of the investments and developments in the health sector, that Abia will surely make it the number 1 state overall. Now, that leadership challenge is a peer review mechanism by governors to judge themselves, not leaving it to other people to judge them. They judge themselves to say how well are we doing in the health sector. It's an important social service. So they now benchmark themselves, they now do peer review. What is happening in your state, what is happening in your state, and all that. So it's a collaboration between the Federal Ministry of Health, UNICEF, Bill Gates Foundation, Dangote Foundation. All these groups came together to make inputs into who emerges as the best, or who have made quite some impressions in the health sector. So it wasn't just any other kind of rating. This came from very serious-minded people, and they were looking at what these states have been able to do. Another important point that gave Abia that position is the fact that we produce data. Our Ministry of Health is generating a lot of granular data, and that data is what all these foundations are interested in. They want to see that. They don't want generalizations. We are doing this. What are you doing? Can you reduce it to numbers? So Abia is doing so well in terms of data, and that's the reason anything we tell you about health, and for that matter, any other sector in the state, is real, because Excellency deals with data. He will always tell you that data is very, very important. And in anything you're doing, rely on data. But it helps you to plan. It helps you to know where you're headed and all that. So these are the issues that give our investments in primary health sector. The fact that we're generating the right data, which those various foundations cross-checked and found out that none, was fake or faked. Everything was on point, correct. So I believe that in the new year, we'll be able to take our top spot as #1, because I mean, His Excellency has put a trajectory in place from the very first year of this administration. He has started allocating 15% and even a little bit more to the health sector, and this can only get better as the years roll by.
Oh, yes, that's the prayer of every Abian. Let it keep getting better and better and better. I do not want us to continue because I know that our people would like to call in. We have a number of people, Abians, who trooped into the state because of the Yuletide, but not just because of the Yuletide. A number of them came in because they really would want to see for themselves what the governor has been doing. They want to be sure that what they've been hearing and what they've been seeing on social media is correct. And I think a number of them would like to call in to ask questions, to comment, to make suggestions, and all of that. So the line is already open. Number is 0814 299 1448. I'll take that again. 0814 299 1448. When you call in and ask your question, please, I'd like you to be brief. Make it as brief as possible because there are quite a number of other people on the queue. In fact, from the moment we started talking, calls began to come in. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
We got you. Good morning.
Okay.
Hello.
Your name?
Yes, Governor Petition have done well in
Your name, please. Your name.
You didn't tell us your name.
Speaking with.
some public
Hello. Hello.
about that.
Hello.
Three buses in Kano State, they made it free of cost, free of charge. And for
Who
me,
is
I
it
would
talking
suggest
with?
that thing should be replicated here in Abia.
Hello. Can we know who is speaking, please?
I have a question. My question is this:
Can you tell us your name?
media chat. And I've asked this question to the Chief Press Secretary and even SSK, Dr. Chidi Ozoba.
I will not answer this
Why
one. He's
is
an unruly
civil servants
person.
under OA
An
salary
unruly
structure,
person.
they are still being paid with 30,000 naira old state minimum wage? That is, and even teachers, secondary school teachers, they are being paid with 30,000 naira old minimum wage.
All right.
Today is media chat. The governor should
No,
explain
today is not media chats. This is not media chat. We're having a program, Executive Brief, and we'd like you to tell us your name. Can you hear me? All right. We can't hear anything from his end
That's an
anymore.
unruly caller.
Okay, the number is
Please tell them
0814.
let's know the
299.
where they're calling from.
Yes, please.
So we can now know how to locate their issues.
Yes.
It's not just to call and be ranting on the radio. It's not good now.
0814 299 1448. When you call in, please ensure that we are getting your name, okay, and your location. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Ụmụnne m nọ na studio.
This must be Chamberlain's block mode.
Aha m za Chinela Blọkmọ. Onye mode Chesulu nọ n'ụmụ Chesulu. Honorable Commission,
Yes.
obi ndị m ụtọ too much. Amadị m ka m ga-eka ama m ka m ga-ahapụ. Because ebiala Abia steeti ugbu a, so many of my brothers bịara ụlọ. When they decide themselves ụlọ achala ụlọ n'ihi na no ten ya
It's breaking.
ọ bụ nri ọkwanye mgbobi iro moto ahụ anyị ji na-agbagharị egwuregwu ya zụtakwa ndị otu na aka obiko o si test anyị ya pụta mba dị umeala gawa ichikọt anyị nwetakwa uru na ndị a niile the gọvanọ na ndị usoro nke otu atara
Thank you, Chemela.
ma ọ gawachadị ihu.
Thank you very much, Chemela.
He wants the electric buses to come to his village.
Chamberlain, I've heard you, but we may not do that. But we'll provide the services on the major routes where a lot of Abians in a move. Ndị nọ n'ime Nsụlụ ma ndị nọ n'ime village nwere ike iji ọkada ma ọ keke pụta n'okporo ụzọ ha pụtakwa n'okporo ụzọ ha ga-ahụ bọs eburukwa ha ọ na onye a na-aga Aba ọ na-abịaru Ụmụahịa onye na Ụmụahịa na-aga Ọhafịa o nwere mgbe ọ ga-eru ndị bọs a ga na-agba they will be going through those through the local government through the rural roads, but for now they are doing the major city roads and express roads. That's where you have more people commuting daily. Thank you very much, Chairman Block Mode, and Happy New Year in advance.
The number is still 0814-299-1448. 0814-299-1448. Call in and ask your question. Call in and make your contributions this morning. And don't forget, the program is Executive Brief on BCA Radio 88.1 FM Umuahia. Of course, it's also on Love 99.9 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Magic 102.9 FM. We're all live this morning on the program 0814-299-1448. While we're waiting for more calls, Honorable Commissioner, maybe we still need to do on the health sector a little. Can you tell us a little about the just concluded global medical outreach in Abia State? Of course, we know it was a success, but we'd like you to say a little on that.
Okay, thank you very much, the global medical outreach held between the 15th and 20th of December when it was concluded, and it held in 5 centers across the state. Figures coming from that outreach points to the fact that there were over 3,000 interventions or treatments by the medical outreach group. There were about 120 or over 120 major surgeries, and this includes eye surgeries as well during the period across the state. And they used that period as well to train some health workers. About 62 of them were trained on life support and cardiovascular strategies to help people who collapse. We've been hearing of all these people collapsing due to, more often than not, heart failure and so on. So these people were trained, about 62 of them, to ensure that in any part of the state where they are, when people have such issues, they will come to their rescue to help them, revive them and all that. So that medical outreach was a huge success. Over 3,000 interventions, over 120 special and complicated surgeries. Then, of course, this training, and of course, all this came free of charge from the state government. There's even a new one that is coming up in January, between the 7th and 12th of January, thereabout. There'll be another medical outreach, and it will be free as well. And that will be held held across 7 primary health centers in the state. So all these points to the fact that the interventions by His Excellency in the health sector is attracting a lot of support and partnership from other people. There's even a case of an Abia son who built and handed over a primary health center to the state government on the 26th of December. And that's Chief James Ume, popularly called Ike Abam. That's his title. So he built up that place and they handed it over to the government. That's a show of support for the state government, despite the fact that that community has their own government-owned primary health center. He decided to hand that one to the lot. So the state government will continue to make investments in the health sector, because health is very, very important, very key. It's a social service that this government has taken very seriously, and that's the reason you now see others coming in as a show of support to have these outreaches. What finally speaks to is that His Excellency promised to provide easy access, right? Easy access to medical So all that is happening before our very eyes. People are even getting this stage free.
Okay, we have another caller. Good morning.
Yeah.
It's Mr. Ndobisi.
Mr. Ndubisi, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Obo, okay, in Ibu local.
Say from where? Mr. Andubisi, good morning.
Yeah, Honorable Commission.
Your voice is gone. Is that because of overindulgence during the Christmas?
Yeah,
Okay.
prosperous New Year in advance.
Thank you. Go ahead.
First, we want to thank God for what He has used the governor to do for that. Of 2025 has been a very good day for that infrastructure wise and other things. It has been a very good year of rapid development.
Go straight to your question, Mr. Ndubisi, so that others can call in.
I strongly believe that from next year that governor will still continue with this pace of development.
Thank you very much.
Trusting God that at least at the end of his first term, Abians we have a lot already with a lot, but we have more than a lot to celebrate. Having said that, Honorable Commissioner, I still want to use this opportunity again to remind you of this village that borders town with Akwa Ibom. I mentioned of so many things for the time, but I believe that in the same time, you will put us in favorable consideration.
What's the name of the? Is it the one in Ikuano?
In this side of life, we really need the government to help us.
Is that Ikuano?
Be sincere. And Honorable Commissioner, I will also like to pay you a visit so that we will discuss more.
Hello. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Ndubisi. Like you've always said, when you call in, please make it brief so that others can call in, please.
I even, he was talking about a border community.
Yes.
I wanted him to mention it, but most times when they speak, they don't listen. They just flow. I wanted to know where so I can record it.
Yes.
But he has made a call. As far as I'm concerned, he has lost that opportunity. I wanted to get that name.
Yes.
That was what I was saying. Is it Ikuano? Is it Ikuano? Because I know somebody mentioned something about Ikuano not too long ago. A border town.
Okay.
Between Ikuano and Akwa Ibom.
All right.
Something like that. I was just waiting to hear. I don't think it's that area. It's another name, but somewhere around there.
Good day.
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you tell us your name and where you're calling from?
I am Kingsley Alozian calling from Okulugu, Umosu, Inisia Langwa.
So, Kingsley Alozie what?
Mogu.
Wobo. Okay.
Please, Oga, you know the governor can never be by location now. What I mean, he cannot be in government house, be in Okigwe, be in Imo State. Please, with many places, what can we say that our local government chairmen and the councillors that are within us, that we can beat our chest and say this is the thing which they are doing? The governor cannot know everywhere in this state, but we have elected them. What can we say from January through December? This is what they have done for us.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, let me throw that question back to you, Mr. Kingsley Alozie. I don't live in your local government. So it's your call to look at what your mayor has done and be in a position to say whether he has done well or not. But can I tell you something? All these projects that the governor is commissioning or flagging off in all parts of the state, they're located in local governments. So taking it a step further, you can now credit those local government mayors too with what the governor is doing, because the governor does not work in a vacuum. The governor works in local governments, which belongs to people, belongs to Abians, different LGAs. So when the governor comes to a particular LGA to flag off a project or to commission one, the person you see sitting next to him is the mayor. And to that extent, that mayor is taking credit for that project. Do you understand? So, but the idea is that while the governor has his own projects, the mayor should have his or hers. And if you go further down, you find out that these mayors have their own projects. So it's for you to look at what your own mayor is doing and be able to say he's doing this or he's doing that. It's very possible for you to go around and find out. You have a councillor. Meet your councillor and said, if you are asked today what this local government chairman has done, what will you say? Even where you don't know, the councillor will be in a position to give you an idea. Then it will be in your place, Mr. Aloze, to judge your local government mayor whether he has done well or not. So that's why I say it's your call. I'm throwing it back to you to take a particular interest in what your mayor is doing. But on a larger scale, the governor is working in every local government, and the mayors take credit for what happens in their LGAs. Thank you.
Hello.
Honorable Commissioner, I'm standing to be the person I called before. I was talking of OKEY.
What do you call it?
The name of the community again.
OKEY.
OKEY. I remember you mentioned this thing before. OKEY.
Yes, sir.
But instead of mentioning your community, you started telling a long story. And I was asking Equano. So you say their problem there is the road, right? You have a road.
Road and light we don't have.
Road and light you don't have.
Yeah.
But life you have. So there's hope. Don't worry, there's hope. I just needed the name of that community so that I can highlight it. That was why I was asking before you went off.
Okay.
I will mention it, but of course you know that every community will not be touched up the same day. But let the name of your community just enter there, and you know that the governor is doing some work in Ikuano, so we will definitely this thing will definitely get to your place. That's why I asked about that name. Thank you for supplying the name. OKEY, right? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Road and light, you said.
I think it's gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, I was wondering. I know he mentioned this name sometime.
Okay.
But the name is good. That was why I say Ikuano.
All right. The number is still 0814-299-1448. We have a few more minutes to go, but we can still take your call if you would like to call in. Please call in and remember to be brief because there are a number of other people on the queue. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Who am I speaking with?
Honorable Commissioner.
Yeah, good morning.
And I'm Humble Friday Frank. Honorable Omo Hansiala North.
Friday Frank.
I'm a Kelunu. Governor. Lord Nilun, they are like
This is Sialangwa not?
Oratomo. Selangwa.
Onyisi. Ogadu la Barito Hotel. Yes. No Fabandio check. The port of Agadiana. Nanke last year budget induce. In came in where. Genzo not and get one of the lawn.
Yes, sir.
That's when you want to go Zunu, no totally Helania. Because I'm a moon and the Kudema, one and the Kudina, Abbas, Macata State.
Yes.
Only one you do, and I had you.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Friday Frank. God bless you too. There we go.
The number is 0814-299-1448. We have just about 3 minutes to go. Okay.
Honorable Commissioner, sir, I want to find out the iconic Omenoko Bridge in Ozwabam has long been completed. I want to know when is the state government commissioning that project?
At the appropriate time.
Simple.
At the appropriate time. But what is important is that Abians are using the bridge, and Abians are happy. No more people falling off the bridge. And His Excellency, in his wisdom, and hard work, had tamed the Mami water in that river that stopped other governors from constructing the bridge. His Excellency has the magic, and he has done it. So, but on a serious note, at the appropriate time, we'll do that. This commission is only a ceremonial event, just a ceremony. The important thing is that bridge is back to life. Yes. And I drove through that bridge 3 days ago. A beauty to behold. I stopped and showed my kids the old bridge and the new bridge. They cringed. I'm telling you, and I started telling them stories of what happened. I read about this bridge even in secondary school. In Igbo
Novel, Men of Come.
Yes. So that's the iconic bridge. So the important thing, His Excellency has, that bridge is constructed, well constructed, and people are driving through it, very well, a beauty to behold. At the appropriate time, he will pick a date. So the idea is not about just going to make noise and commission. When His Excellency finds it very convenient, he will do that. The important thing is Abians are using that road. Fort Harcourt Road was up there for about 5-6 months before it was commissioned. Yeah, we were using it. So that will happen soon.
Okay. We'll take this last call. Please, I'd like you to be very brief, straight to the point. Good morning. Tell us your name.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
We got you. Can you tell us your name?
My name is
Can you switch off your radio? Okay, I guess this is where we begin to wrap up today's edition. I thought we would have been able to take that call as whatever, but our time is far spent and we may not be able to continue. Before we go, I'd like to say a big thanks to everyone who called in this morning, everyone who tuned in. We know quite a number of people are listening, both within and beyond Abia State. Thank you so much for being a part of this program. I'd like to thank the Honourable Commissioner for Information Abia State, Prince KANU, for coming on this program today. And I'd like to wish you a beautiful new year.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Abians, for all the support, for all your prayers. I wish you a happy new year in advance. Thank you very much.
Let me also appreciate my colleague who's been anchoring this event with me today, Chukwuma Emily. Thank you for being on the program.
Thank you, Chinezerem. Honorable Commissioner, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
On behalf of the Acting Director General of the BCA, Mr. Francis Mwopani, the Director of Engineering Services, OKEY, and everyone in the studio, I am Chinezerem Abakuru, thanking you again and again for joining in and wishing you a beautiful day and indeed a fruitful 2026. To join us again, same time, same station next week on this same program, Executive Brief.